This year's crop of NHL rookies appears to be an extraordinary class. Today I'm going to discuss who I feel will have the top 10 rookie performances and battle for the Calder trophy. And that's coming up next. So welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. As I mentioned, today we're talking about the NHL rookies for the upcoming 21-22 NHL season. In my opinion, I feel this is going to be a tremendous rookie class, all kinds of talent. We're not going to see a whole lot of talent from the 2021 NHL draft. Oftentimes you see some of the top picks debut immediately. I don't feel we're going to get a whole lot of that this year, but there are a lot of players from the 20 and 19 drafts that have yet to make their NHL debuts, or they've only played a few games and they still preserve their rookie status. So in my opinion, like I said, it's going to be a stacked rookie class with a lot of solid players to keep an eye on for the upcoming year. So I'm going to go through 10 all the way up to 1 and tell you who I think the top 10 rookies to watch for the coming season will be. It'll be in the conversation for the Calder trophy. Number 10, we have Vasily Podkolzin with the Vancouver Canucks for the second year in a row and another year of many here. Recently, the Canucks have yet another top young player to join their roster and likely even get a top 6 or a top 9 role. I'm not sure exactly where he's going to slot in the lineup, but I can see a scenario where he might get some second line minutes. They might even possibly play him on the third line as well. It's hard to say exactly, and also it's going to depend on how long he stays there. Will be depend on how well he plays. But looking at the Canucks roster and how they're constructed, I really think he's going to get a pretty good opportunity. Number 9 in Columbus, we have Yegor Chinakhov. Now, Chinakhov was a high pick a couple of NHL drafts ago that really caught a lot of people by surprise. This was a player that Columbus was viewed upon as going off the board here, but I must say, since he's come over to North America in this year in training camp, he's looking like a real solid player. And given the fact that Columbus is not nearly an overly deep team like they used to be, I think he's going to get a pretty good opportunity to play a fair bit, and possibly with some of their top young players. I can see him maybe getting an opportunity at times with guys like Patrick Laine, Jack Roslovic, etc. So I really think he's going to have an exceptional rookie campaign. I'm not sure if he'll stick in the NHL the whole season or not. Hard to say how that's going to work. But if he does, I can see him being one of those sneaky contenders in the conversation right up to the end of the year. Number 8, I'm going with Bruins center Jack Studnicka. Now, I think an opportunity will arise for Studnicka to possibly become the regular number 2 center with the Bruins. Now, I know they probably intend to give more of an opportunity to Charlie Coyle to hold down this role, but so far in training camp, Studnicka has looked really good. Coyle has not been ready for game action here as of yet because he's still recovering and rehabbing from a knee surgery he had in the offseason, and that's given Studnicka more of an opportunity to play higher in the lineup during preseason games and in scrimmages in camp, and he's looked really, really good, to be honest. I think he's going to make a tough decision on Boston, and as I've said before, I like Charlie Coyle as a player. I'm not sure he's suited for second line duty though. So to me, Studnicka, even if he doesn't start there, will eventually take on that role, and getting a chance to play with guys like Taylor Hall and Craig Smith is only going to help him put up the points and keep him in the rookie conversation for top rookie of the year. Number 7, we've got Shane Pinto of the Ottawa Senators. Shane Pinto, another young player having a really, really solid NHL training camp this year. He came out of college hockey last year after playing for the University of North Dakota for a couple of seasons. Played the final 12 games of the NHL season with the Senators. Didn't look out of place at all. The Senators were using him in defensive zone starts, killing penalties, playing him in all situations pretty much right away, and he showed he was up to the task. So far in training camp and preseason action, he's looked really good. I know there was a lot of talk about Chris Tierney maybe being the number 2 center to start the NHL season for the Senators, but in my opinion, Pinto has proven he is more than ready to take this on. Even in last night's preseason game against the Montreal Canadiens, he was playing with guys like Austin Watson and Nick Paul, and he was making them look a lot more offensively talented than what they normally are, because he's the kind of guy, in my opinion, that just makes players around him better. He's responsible at both ends of the ice, a real smart player with a ton of skill, and I think Shane Pinto might be a guy, even though he was a second-round pick a few years ago, that comes out of nowhere in some people's opinions, unless you follow the Senators closely, and you'll know that he's the real deal, and he will be an impact player this year. Number 6, we've got Marco Rossi with the Minnesota Wild. Now, last year was pretty much a lost season for Rossi. He really had a bad case of COVID. It was really impacted, really hindered. It went a long time without being able to train, but did have a real solid offseason. Looks like he's back to 100%, having a pretty good training camp for Minnesota. My only concern is I'm not sure how much of an opportunity he will get. I think he will definitely see a decent amount of NHL time this year, but will he stick with the big club for the whole season? I wonder if his strength is up to it, and will he be able to, make that adaptation to stick full time immediately. He's certainly more than talented enough, that's for sure. He's got tremendous skill, and I think he could get an opportunity to play with some real solid offensive players in Minnesota, which will certainly impact his numbers as well. Long term, I see Rossi as being a real solid top 6 center for Minnesota. Number 5, we get Alex Newhook of the Colorado Avalanche. Newhook is another player who came out of college late last year, signed his contract, had limited action, saw some action in the playoffs, but now this year he's going to be able to take on a bigger role with the Avalanche, especially given their cap situation and some of the players they've lost in the forward group. Alex Newhook is going to have to take on a bigger role for the Avalanche this year. He's going to be playing in the top 9, possibly in the top 6 on a consistent basis, playing with some real solid offensive players, which is certainly going to help his case to put up a lot more points and garner a lot more attention on the NHL rookie scene. But Alex Newhook, to me, is a very talented player. He's capable of stepping in, and I think he should fit in quite nicely with that Avalanche team and start building his career from here. Now, before we look at the rest of the top rookies I want to talk about here today, I do need to pause for a moment and acknowledge our channel sponsor, SJSTer Smart Wallets. Top Shelf Hockey is proud to be sponsored by SJSTer. Forbes calls SJSTer the most successful smart wallet brand in the world. They certainly have high quality products, high grade leather. You can put all your cards in your wallet with RFID protection, and you can track it worldwide. That's the best part. You don't have to worry about losing your wallet and not being able to track it down. They have a great selection of products to choose from here, a variety of colors and styles, something to surely help for everyone. As you can see in the demonstration here for the product I have, this is a beautiful packaging, high quality. When you open it up, you get a high quality wallet with lots of slots for your cards. You have yourself a money clip if you want to carry cash on you here as well. And certainly, as you can see, the quality is outstanding. And here you can see the switch where you can help open up your cards. You just one little click and boom, everything fans out right in front of you. Easy to access. Your cards are protected. And here's the back where you have yet another slot. A terrific overall product, and I can't recommend these enough. SJSTer ships worldwide, and you can check out the link down below in the description as well as the pinned comment to buy yours today. Number 4, we have German-born defenseman and the Red Wings prospect Moritz Seider. Seider should have no problem making the Red Wings team out of training camp and go on to have one heck of an NHL rookie season. I think he'll be one of the more dominant, if not the most dominant, NHL rookie defenseman this year. I expect him to be in the conversation for the Calder Trophy fairly from the beginning to the end of the year, to be completely honest. Seider's a player who could, because of the lack of depth on the Red Wings, get a pretty solid role and actually get a lot of minutes and a lot of responsibilities this year and really be a standout rookie in the NHL. He had a solid year playing in Germany before. He's already been playing against men. He's not coming necessarily out of a junior league like a lot of these players. So he's certainly, I think, more accustomed and more ready for the pro style of game than some of these other rookies that he's going to be competing for the Calder Trophy against. But to me, Mo Seider was a little bit of a surprise pick when the Red Wings picked him a couple of years ago after watching him play in Germany over the past little while and what he's done since he's been drafted. It's really no surprise they took him where he did. He looks like he will be a dominant defenseman for many years to come. At number 4, we've got Trevor Zigras and the Anaheim Ducks organization. He's a tremendously gifted player, probably one of the most talented hockey players in this rookie class, arguably one of the best hockey sense, best skills when it comes to passing, setting up his teammates, his terrific vision on the ice. But Zigras really does everything well. He's a pretty well-rounded hockey player. Again, Anaheim's a team that's not overly deep and will be able to get guys like Zigras and even maybe defenseman Jamie Drysdale into a fair bit of NHL action this year and see what they can do. I do suspect Zigras to have a full solid year. Last year he saw some NHL time, but also was sent down to the minors as well. This year, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think he'll stick with the big club, get to play a solid top 6 role, and be one of the most dominant rookies the NHL sees this year. Number 2, I've got Spencer Knight with the Florida Panthers. I can see Spencer Knight eventually, before the season is out, stealing the starting netminder job from the $10 million man, Sergei Bobrovsky, with the Florida Panthers. I mean, Knight didn't see a ton of action last year because he did sign, like many of these other guys, out of college, saw a limited amount of action to end the year, and he looked really, really good. He saw a little bit of playoff action as well. And the way Bobrovsky's been so inconsistent the past few years, I can see Knight stealing more of the starts. Because of that, with a solid team in front of him, I think he'll get a lot of wins, end up playing a lot more games than many people realize, and be in that conversation for the Calder Trophy. But Spencer Knight has the potential to be a dominant NHL goaltender at an early age and have a really extended career of a lot of success, in my opinion. He's one of the most athletic goalies we've seen in recent years here coming out of the junior ranks. The number 1 rookie, I think, will have the best chance at winning the Calder Trophy and having a dominant season that will cause all of us to talk the most about him, will be Cole Caufield of Montreal. I think last year's experience in the playoffs is really going to help him when it comes to being ready for a full NHL campaign. Of course, one thing, like many of these guys I do have concern about, is considering the limited amount of action a lot of these young players have seen over the past couple of years. Are they ready and able for a full 82-game campaign? And will that long grind of the season really wear on them? And even if they have hot starts, could it really impact how productive they are down the stretch into the later part of the season? But I think Cole Caufield should have a tremendous year for scoring goals. He showed last year, after he had a little bit of time to get comfortable, tremendous chemistry with Nick Suzuki. I think that this guy is going to be a goal-scoring machine, just like he did in the United States national team program. Obviously, this guy was breaking records at that level with Jack Hughes, and really a lot of people kind of wondered if Jack Hughes was the main reason he was so good. But you know what? Caulfield is good on his own. He's developed chemistry with a lot of the Montreal guys, specifically Suzuki, and I can see him being a solid 30-goal scorer here in his rookie year, and likely being the most dominant rookie here in this rookie class. So those are my top 10 rookies for the 21-22 season, in my opinion. There is plenty of other solid young talent that will either see at least a limited or possibly full-time NHL duty this year. So I certainly look forward to the season to see how these guys make out. Of course, as always, I want to know what your thoughts are down below in the comment section. What rookies are you most excited about? Who do you feel will be in the running for the Calder Trophy when the end of the season comes? Let me know what your thoughts are Let me know your thoughts on those players down below. We'll discuss further. If you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe and stick around. We'll keep you up to date with all the latest news, rumors, and analysis on all 32 NHL teams. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.